Hi everyone, this is Ross at DePauw University, and today I'm going to walk you through a Hello World iPhone 4 application tutorial. Before you get started, you want to make sure that you have the Mac operating system Snow Leopard or higher. That's Mac OS X 10.6 or higher. That's if you're going to develop specifically for iPhone 4. Once you have that operating system running, you're going to go to apple.com and download the iPhone SDK. There are 4 applications that come along with the SDK. It's XCode, the iPhone simulator, interface builder, and file merger, and we'll cover all 4 of those applications as we go through this tutorial. You can download those for free at apple.com, as I said before, and also register as a developer for free. Once you have those applications installed, go ahead and open up Xcode, and we're going to click Create New Xcode Project. Dialog box comes up. You want to go ahead and select the view-based application and choose. I'm going to save this to the desktop, call it Hello World. You can call it whatever you'd like. And Xcode will open up with all of the files. I'm going to go ahead and maximize that so it's easier to see. And open up some of these folders to access files. Now, what we're going to do here is go ahead and open up the nib or zip file, XIB file for Hello World View Controller, because that's where all of our information is going to be processed, and our view is going to be built off that. So Interface Builder pops up. First thing we want to do is make sure that our file owner is of class type Hello World View Controller. That is under the Identities tab in the Properties window. And we're going to go over to the Library window in Interface Builder, go to Objects. This is where you've got all your objects that you can drag onto the canvas. And we're going to go ahead and grab a label and drag that over. I'm going to go ahead and resize that. And in the Label Attributes tab of the Properties window, I'm going to go ahead and change the text to be Hello iPhone World. And here is where you can manipulate your objects however you would like. The font size, you can go ahead and change text color. I'm going to center this to make it nice and neat in the interface. There's all sorts of things that as you work more with iPhone development, you'll see how to manipulate that. All these things you can also manipulate in the code, and we'll kind of see how to do that when we get back into Xcode. Also, what you want to do, because there are going to be some actions that take place with this label, you want to be able to manipulate it, so we're going to go ahead and give it a name. I am going to call it Action Label, and my shorthand is ACTBTN for action button, or sorry, not button, but label, LBL. And after you've got that, you're going to go ahead and save your view. I do the hotkey Apple S. You can also go up here to File, Save. We're going to go ahead and now run this through Xcode. Build and run this button will compile, build, install, and then run your application on your iPhone simulator. And as you can see, the label that we placed on the canvas, Hello iPhone World, is there. It's not going to do anything. You can't grab it and drag it. We haven't given any sort of code to manipulate the label. So we're going to jump back into Interface Builder, because now we need a button to manipulate the label. We go ahead and place that on the canvas, change the width of it, and again, back in the Attributes tab, I'm going to go to the title and say Push to Show Text, because that's what we want to have happen when we push it, because as I'll show you in a little bit, we're going to go ahead and hide the label that we created previously so that it's not there on the canvas, or at least not visible on the canvas right away. I'm going to call this Action Button, ACTBTN, my shorthand again, because we're going to click it. We need to be able to access it when we click it. We need to access it in the code and give it some actions. So we've got that, and we're going to go back to the label under the Attributes tab, and this property down here hidden. We're going to go ahead and select that, and as you can see, the label kind of grayed out. It's not as prominent in its colors, and we're going to go ahead and save the view again. And as you can see, when we run and build and run this application again, the label's gone. Not gone, but it's hidden. You can't see it. And now we've got this button which we can click all day, but it's not going to do anything because we haven't given the code for it to do anything. The next step is to make actions and outlets in the interface builder. I found that that's the easiest way. You can do this programmatically in the code, but as you'll see, the way that I'm going to show you in interface builder, you can basically interface builder will write the code into your .h, which is your header file, and your .m, which is where you basically, that's where you're going to do your data processing and your manipulation of objects. So we want to click the Hello World View Controller class in the Classes tab of the library window, and this is your hierarchy of your class. We want to make outlets. We need to make two outlets, being the label and the button, because we're going to change some of the properties through the code, and we have to connect them to the file owner in order to do that. So what we're going to do is make an outlet for the action label, and we're going to make an outlet for the action button. I use the same names as I gave them in the identity tab of the properties window. But what we're going to do now is type. ID basically means that it can be of any type, and when you pass it through a method, as long as that method is of type ID, it'll kind of sort it out for itself, trying to figure out, okay, is this the right type for this method? It's kind of a safe, it's kind of a catch, but we know that this button is a user interface UI button, button, as it pops up here. So we're going to change the type to that. Same thing with the label. We know that it's a UI label, and so we're going to change its type there. The next thing we want to do is create an action in our Hello World View Controller class, and I'm going to call this action button clicked, because when we click the button, this is where we're going to have our code for the actions to manipulate our different objects on the view. And the object that's making the click, I guess, if you want to say it that way, is again a user interface UI button. So we're going to go ahead and specify the type for the interface. Now that we have that taken care of in the library window, we're going to go back over here to the view with our file view, and to connect outlets in Interface Builder, there's several ways. The way that I find easiest is to just connect it using the view here with the file owner, and you hold down Control in order to get this blue line to pop up. Start at the file owner, take it to whatever object on your canvas you want to connect to an outlet, and because it knows, we specified earlier in the library window that our outlet was of type action button, or of type user interface button, we get the ACTBTN action button popping up when we let go. So we're going to go ahead and connect that to the outlet. We're going to do the same thing for the label. Drag it up there, and as you can see again, because we specified it being a UI label, it knows exactly which outlet we should connect, or give us the option to connect to. Now we're going to connect the action, and it's a little bit different. You would start at the, go ahead and click the object on the canvas that you want the action to be connected to, and again, hold down Control and take it down to the file owner, and now we've got this event, this action button clicked, which we created in the library window. And now those are all connected. So we're going to go ahead and save the view again,